Hello, everyone. For once, I'm not home. I'm out running around in this nasty weather. My sons wanted to go to Indianapolis for a ball game the other day on a Tuesday afternoon. We had previously went to one last Saturday in Carmel, Indiana, and I forgot to take pictures of that, so I didn't want to miss out on this. I dropped them off at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, and they were watching their ball game, and I just kind of meandered around the city and took it all in. When I drop them off at ball games at night, I like to drive around the city and find a Goodwill and maybe eat dinner by myself. It doesn't bother me one bit. I love it. I'm not scared. Indianapolis is very safe downtown at night, or it has been when I've gone there. So I went around in the daytime and looked at all the cool things, stopped at a couple of museums. Their downtown area's got all kinds of nice little shops, little restaurants, all kinds of things to do. I enjoyed it so much. And then I did end up going out of the city and finding me a Goodwill. I love their little brick pathways and their brick streets. This is what goes around Monument Circle, and it's just beautiful. And honestly, the congested spirit of the city would give me anxiety on a daily basis. But to just visit it for a few hours and take it in, I really enjoy it. I don't think I would mind it a bit on a short-term basis. My niece lives up there, and she loves it. This is one of my boys' favorite places to go. I thought Monument Circle was just beautiful. It's beautiful when all the lights are lit up and they have the huge tree, but to see it in the daytime, you can see better. Now, these things, I don't know about these things, guys. We don't see them around where we live too often, but I saw about 5 of them in the city, and I don't know. I guess they're okay if you want one, but they're pretty odd looking. And this is a tree at Monument Circle that we always like to see at night. It's so beautiful on one of the corner buildings in their window. Didn't look as bright and pretty in the daytime, but I wanted to show you guys. This is a beautiful theater that I've been to many times. It's really decorated pretty during the day. You don't see these when you go through there at night because you're looking at the big tree, but they had decorations all the way around, and it was really special. I drove around Monument Circle about 4 times and took all these pictures, and then I just parked and listened to the music that they play, and I stopped in Whole Foods. I'd never been in a Whole Foods before, and they have wonderful Whole Foods, and it's great and healthy and all that good stuff. But this looks more my speed. The Chocolate Cafe. I didn't go in there. I was scared too, but that would be more my style. But Whole Foods is really cool. And we had gone the day after their big snowstorm, and they got a lot more snow than us. And even though they did a good job of clearing it off, there were still messes and piles. And I saw people getting stuck a lot because they don't have any place to take this snow, and it just kind of piles up. Then you get a little bit out of the downtown area and you start seeing the old-fashioned buildings that have probably been there forever. They're kind of enveloped by all the big buildings, but you see them, and I saw this little Hudlin's Hardware. It looks like it's probably been there since the 50s or 60s. And then they're taking their little neighborhoods that were pretty run down, and they're fixing up little buildings and making their own little communities within the city. They're taking the taller buildings that used to be just big factories, and they're making them into apartments. I know the housing is really tough in Indianapolis, and they've got all these apartments. And then they had this big row of tiny houses that were very small, just one right after another, but they were pretty interesting and cute. And then every now and then you see one of these pop up. I couldn't tell if this was a steeple or just the top of a big old house in the middle of all the chaos, but I couldn't get close enough to it to see if it was a church. And then at the Goodwill, I saw lots of sets of dishes. And what I found at the Goodwill this time was that after Christmas, people donate their Christmas presents and their Christmas decorations. I guess they just don't want to pack it away. A girl that worked there, I saw a lot of Christmas, and she said, yeah, people bring it in. Sometimes the tape and the paper's still stuck to it where they just gave away their gifts. I thought these plates were really pretty. There were 4 of them. And then I found these 4 little Easter bunny plates, and they were a little odd shaped, but they paired so well with those plates. I thought that would make a pretty Easter setting. But I have so many dishes, I don't need an Easter setting. And then they had this really pristine few pieces of Virginia rose pattern that I used to have. And then I thought this biscuit candy jar was awfully pretty. It was only $1.99, but I don't need another piece of glass. And then this little rare individual little saucer popped up all by itself. I thought it was so beautiful, the red transferware, and I dug around looking for more. But look at this pattern. It's got holly berries and holly leaves, and it's a Christmas pattern. And I flipped it over, and it's called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Isn't that beautiful? I have thrifted my whole life and I've never seen these before. And they just had this random little saucer. So, I didn't buy it, but I'm going to be looking for it. I'm going to find this pattern someday, and I need that. I need it bad. Then I was looking and I found these. Well, they weren't together. They were the big gray plates and then the smaller gray embossed salad plates. And the big gray plates were in pristine condition. You can tell they've never been used. They were from the hotel collection. And a quick search online showed that they were from Macy's and they were the hotel collection, and 3 plates were selling for $69. And these were $1.99 a piece. And the first thing I thought of was my boys. They live in an apartment, and someday they're going to have houses. So I'm always on the lookout for good stuff for them. And these 4 plates were just beautiful. So I bought the big gray plates. And then I found the little silver embossed plates, and they matched perfectly, and they were like new. Then I found 7 of these wine goblets that are iridescent, blue, gray, green, kind of every color bounces off of them. And they look so beautiful together. So for under like $21, I got the whole set. And then I found this big green hurricane jar that's kind of the greenish blue. And I thought that would look pretty in the middle of the table with a candle, like a battery-operated candle. And, of course, this is Mom's idea for their house. They eat off paper plates and regular old plates, but they're 24 years old, and they're going to appreciate this stuff someday, right? And then I found them this 99-cent B. Smith cutting board that was brand new. It still had the tag on it. And B. Smith was one of my favorites. She's passed away now, but she was great. And I think she didn't get the recognition she deserved because she was very Martha Stewart-like, and she was great. And unfortunately, she's passed. But I knew that was a good quality piece for their apartment. And then I always look for Fiesta ware because I have like 7 friends who collect it. And I found this whole serving set and this little piece that I'm not real sure what it is. Maybe a soup bowl, but it was unique. And I picked all this up for one of my friends. I just picked one of my friends to give this to. I don't know if this is the new Fiesta or the old. I believe it's the newer, but they all like all of it. So I just pick it up when I find it. And I was real happy to find her a place setting she can actually sit down and have lunch with by herself, because she may have some to match it. And my husband and I, we have been enjoying the hot chocolate bar when we find a few minutes to be home and be in where it's cold. And, well, we're in where it's warm because it's cold outside, and we've enjoyed it. And I'm trying to make healthy food. We had broccoli and rice and beef and broccoli the other night, and it was so good. And I do have a few random little favorite Santas sitting on the counter. I'm going to put them away, I promise. Just haven't done it yet. I like to look at them. I'll put them downstairs shortly. And my friend was so happy and excited when she found out she's the recipient of the Elvis Project. She's going to set it out for a nightlight. And I loved it so much and miss it so much that I'm making my own. And I've decided that my little room is going to be more like a room I would have had when I was in high school. And it's going to have Elvis and albums and lights and sparkle and all the fun stuff, but it's also going to have the posters I had when I was growing up and my albums that I had. And so I'm going through, I found another makeup thing to make the little stereo. I had so much fun making that little stereo, and I found a bigger eyelash case that I'm going to make a bigger stereo. So I'm going to have 2 stereos in my room, and I'm going to make it to my liking with the pink and the sparkle. And of course I'll have lots of albums. And I was in Goodwill the other day and I found another little glass votive like this in pink. And then I found a green one as well. And that's my birthstone. So, but I'll have lots of albums of all the people that I liked, and it'll be my dream room of my collection of things that I like. So that's going to be my project next. Plus, I have another miniature project I'm going to show you soon. When my sister-in-law passed away, I got the little candy store back that I had made for her. So I'm going to decorate it up for Valentine's and show you guys. So I'm going through all my books and looking to see if I have any remnants of Elvis left for my project. And I want you to join me on Instagram at MarcyJo631. I've got so much stuff planned for the new year. I've just got to take a little breather here and think about what I want to do. I want to thank you so much. And if you could share this with your friends and family, maybe they like my content, it would be great. We're going to have a lot more baking. I'm going to show you some ideas. I just found a great cake recipe the other day I want to share with you. Baking and cooking and just all the stuff, all the things I like, the recipes. I'll try to share a recipe every now and then. I'll try to take you on some more trips. There's music playing in the background because somebody's driving by with loud music. More miniatures. Like I said, I'm going to show you the Valentine candy shop. And I love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I can't wait to catch up with you again. Love you.